Hello everyone, this is Josh X Play Place, and today we continue to grow, expand and improve our city of Port Austin in Cities Skylines 2 in this episode number 19. And last time we saw this little area with row housing grow really nicely, and let's see what kind of trouble we can get into today. Let's begin. I think that overall this area is looking rather nice. Of course, we don't have that much demand for any type of residential areas, and I think that's just okay, that's fine. But I do think that we need to continue adding a little bit more of commercial areas, and we need to figure out where we are gonna do that. For now, I think we are fine. Maybe later on we can add a little bit of commercial in this area, and maybe in here, even though as you can recall, we are gonna do a medium road that should go from this area and around. In the middle here of these two little hills, it's gonna connect with this avenue, and then maybe go around this little hill across the little creek, and we'll have another exit into the expressway in this area. We'll figure that one out as we go. But we do have a lot of demand for commercial, and so we'll see how it goes, right? We'll try to figure out. Today we will do this area. We will place the police station, the large one, which is the police headquarters. I think we are needing that, and we'll have some money left, so we should be fine, and we are making good profit in our city. Everything is going well. I think we're having issues here with no vehicles, so I think we're gonna have to add yet another bus garage, and I think this, let's put it here. This is gonna work well, and now we have 75 buses in this bus depot, and yeah, that's gonna be fine. And we can add a couple more lines if we need to, as we actually do. Again, everything else is looking fine. We still have some issues with garbage piling up, and as we can see here, some of our main problematic areas are these small coal power plants, and so this one, garbage is piling up, in this one too, and in this one too. And if we take a look at the production, it says that it's producing about 11.4. Same thing for this one, and same thing for this one. And if we go into services, we are at 100% budget. So we have three of them that are really the most problematic, along with this geothermal power plant. But this one actually produces 143 megawatt hours. And this harbor, right? And the way that we look at it is we're doing well in terms of garbage processing. We just need for it to keep going. And so I think we can replace these 1, 2, 3 coal power plants, because in between all of them, they're producing less than 35 megawatt hours, and we can add a couple of these windmills in this area on the coastline. So let's add one just for now, and we'll put it here. That's gonna produce 5, but if we go all the way with the upgrades, with the solar assist, with the advanced rotor system and the battery, which the battery doesn't help, but this goes up to 9. And so we need to replace 35 megawatt hours, and if we can do 4 of these, that's going to be 36. So let's try to do that really quick, and making sure that, as you can see where it says electricity production, it's producing the maximum, which is 5 megawatt hours. Sometimes you can put it somewhere else, like let's say here. Well, that's a bad example. Maybe, yeah, let's put it here, and it says production 2.94 out of 5, which is good, but 60% or almost 60%, I don't think is that good. So let's continue doing that. So we already have one. And again, it's nice that there's a radius where you can put them close together. So we'll add another one here, another one here, one here, and a final one. It's not going to produce as much electricity, so let's see this one. Yeah, we'll add it here. And let's upgrade all of these really quick. And I think that's looking rather nice. So let's go back into our electricity production. And that went up a lot. So let's start demolishing these or bulldozing these. Oh, let's wait really quick. Let's add another voltage substation here. That way we can connect them with this one. And again, we'll try to redo this area, and I think we can add just a couple more blocks of these industrial areas, right? I think that's going to be helpful. And we have this one, and we have this one. We still have another one, but I think that for now we're doing well. Let's wait. Let's wait to see how this goes. Let's see where we have all of these power lines. So we have, let's delete this power line here, and let's delete this one for now. And we need to make sure that there's no outages, because the idea of having larger power lines like these ones, like regular larger ones that you see in real life, and having the electric cables, I think it's really good. It's a really good idea, and it adds a little bit more complexity into the game when it comes to electricity, because of course you're gonna need power lines to take more power longer distances, right? And so I'm glad that they actually did this, not only, oh yeah, just build a power plant and that should be fine. But let's delete this one. And the way you're gonna see how things are going in terms of transmission is, for example, the only line or the only power line that goes underground to the other side is this one. And if you can see here, the electricity flow is less than 1 out of 40, so there's no issues whatsoever, and I'm sure neither are we gonna have any here, right? So we're fine right now. Again, there's not even that much flow in here, 0.41. I think the largest flow might be in these areas. For example, here you have an actual flow of 40 out of 40. Same thing here, but there's no issues. We'll definitely know. The game will let us know, hey, you need to do this or you need to do that. Add more lines. And since we have more than enough electricity, maybe we can actually delete this one. Yeah, let's do it right now. I don't see why not. We'll be able to just do this. There we go. And now we have a little bit more space to add a little bit more of these industrial areas. So let's do that really quick. Okay, so let's add just a little bit more of industrial here. And we're still gonna leave this open because I think we will have some more industrial buildings that we can do, but not for right now. We still have these other ones that we need to place. We haven't put that much attention on them, but I think that's fine. and especially in this area, I think we can start planning to place some of these in here, and I think that will be just great. We're gonna have to bulldoze a couple of buildings. Century Castle, that's gonna look really well, and they also have well-being areas around them, right? Which is pretty cool. But we'll do that just for another episode. And again, everything is going really well here. Let's go into our info panel. Traffic, roads are doing well. Traffic, I guess it's okay. Electricity, again, we're even making money out of it, especially with these 5 windmills. In terms of water, also we're doing well. We're having more than we need. In terms of healthcare, crematorium availability is on the green, so we're fine. Same thing with healthcare, although it's only 60%. And what I think we're gonna have to do is to build another big hospital, but that's gonna be for later. In terms of garbage management, again, everything is going well. I do think we're gonna have to start emptying this landfill. So let's start doing that in here. And once we empty this landfill, then we can start thinking about doing our renovation for the highway in this area. Again, once we finish emptying this, and because of the garbage, we might want to add another little processing plant, recycling center, maybe in our next episodes, because I know since we're emptying this landfill, we're gonna have issues. So again, we need to keep a look at this, right? It's gonna go into issues, but we can add a little bit more collection upgrades in here. So we'll see how that goes. Again, it's better that way we can continue with the expansion in here. That's gonna be fine. In terms of fire hazard, I think everything's covered pretty nicely. Disaster control, again, that's something that we need to figure out later. But for now, let's see what else we have open in our progression and development tree. And we don't have anything. All right, we have the early disaster warning system, which I think we already placed. No, we haven't. But that's 2.4 million, and right now I think we want to do the police station, which we will do in just a little bit. Again, there's just things that you need to do first that really won't affect us as much. As you know, I'm more than sure that within this or next episode we'll get another tornado, yet another tornado. That's fine. I mean, that it is what it is. In terms of police, everything's fine. We don't have that many issues with that. Administration also same thing, and really education is what we need to focus. We added a lot of high school capacity. Again, we're still in the red, but we're getting closer to having at least balanced. Same thing with college, we're getting there. And we really need to work in our elementary school capacity, and we'll build 1 or 2 right now. And as well for the university, I think that's our next thing. Mail service, I think that's also something that we need to work on, but we'll see how it goes. We'll take it as it goes, right? We don't want to rush. And with telecom, I think maybe not in this episode, but on the next one, we might actually want to add another of these large telecom towers in here, right? That way it's gonna cover all of this area, even here, and that's gonna be very, very helpful. And so let's do what we said right now. So we're gonna add one of these large elementary schools, and I think this will fit. And also, this is another little thing that bothers me. Sometimes the having the do this snapping, it's a little bit tricky. Like in here, there was no reason why that shouldn't have happened. So we're gonna do this here. We're gonna add another one, right? And we will add, let's see what type of sports we can do in here. We can do this tennis court, which is the perfect size, almost the perfect size. And we have skate parks and basketball courts, so we'll do one basketball court here and another one here. And then we'll close this block. And is there a little parking lot that can fit in here? Maybe that's gonna leave a 3x3, and this one is a tiny parking lot. So let's see what we can do. Let's do this one and add just whatever we can add in terms of vegetation, right? So let's try this, not that much. Let's do pine. Let's see if this helped just maybe a little bit. It did help a lot, so let's add the upgrades. We can also add, I think it's too big to add a soccer field. Yeah, it's not gonna fit anyway. And we'll see how that's gonna go. Again, there's no more demand for it, but this area is gonna grow with only row housing. So we'll add the, as you can see how it is here. So we'll add the avenue around this, in this intersection. We're actually gonna curve the road, curve it again to go maybe even under this nice hill, right? Because what I think we should do is not have any of these here. I think, again, I wish we had parks in this game, park areas, and so we can go around and maybe around here, right? And then go around and meet with this avenue and continue going around. Continue going around across the little creek and into the highway. And it's gonna take maybe a couple, at least how many? It's 5. Yeah, at least 5, because we need to connect. Oh, I think this is gonna work better. So we can start the road around here, the avenue, curve it up, then down again, then go around the highest point of this hill, and then somewhere in here meet with this avenue, continue maybe going straight or in a curve, and definitely have an exit ramp here and go straight. So we're gonna have another avenue here. Maybe we also need to unlock this, so we need at least 1.2 million. That way we can continue to go straight and have the avenue not be kind of weird, although that doesn't really matter. And it should be just fine, right? So let's work on this police headquarters, and I think this is the perfect area to do it. I think that we can do something else with these intersections, but I don't think these intersections will be an issue, right? I don't think there's gonna be a lot of traffic coming into this area. But let's still see there's traffic. It shouldn't be that much traffic. Okay, so we're gonna put it in here. I don't think we need another roundabout here or here, but if something happens, if we need it, of course we will do it. So let's do the police headquarters in here. Still, we're gonna leave just one little square just in case, right? And if we need to put a little roundabout, we'll do the little roundabouts, right? We don't need to put the big one. And even if we need to put the big one, we can do it. So that's just perfectly fine. And let's see what options we have with these police headquarters. We have the extra jails, which I don't think we need them right now. We have the garage extension, which I don't think we need it either. But we do have the helipad, which I do wanna add. And in here, I'm gonna add a little alley to go here. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there for now. And we're gonna add a large parking lot. I think that's gonna look really nice. But also, yeah, it's very large. What's the upkeep 60 a month? Yeah, that's fine. So let's put this really large parking lot in here. Yeah, and I think that completes it. Maybe let's move it so it can be centered. Yeah, I think that's great. Right, that looks nice. And because we want this to look a little bit nicer, we'll add vegetation. Let's see what the original or what the native vegetation is. So we have oak, we have hickory and oak, hickory and pine. So let's do that really quick. And I think this is gonna look rather nice. If only we had fences, I would think that adding a fence would do great in this situation, right? But unfortunately, we don't have that. And I think that as it continues to grow, this is gonna look rather nice. We might even be able to put a little park in there. Let's see what is it that we can add. We have the large parks. We can add a little dog park. We'll put it in here. Yeah, that's gonna be just great. Right, and now we have the police headquarters, which should help a lot. Right now everything's green except this little road because there's no access to it, or to go back basically. Right, so that's just really well, and we have money. Of course, we're gonna be earning a little bit less or profiting a little bit less, but I think that's just fine. And yeah, this city is looking rather nice. And they are complaining about hers. They are complaining about high rent. But again, there's no demand, even though there's unoccupied buildings and availability of jobs. So we need to add some of that. And let's see what the taxes are. Yeah, they're not that bad, so they shouldn't be complaining. Let's figure out where we can add a couple more of commercial zones. And I think that, what is it? This is a transformer station. So let's pause the game really quick. Let's move this here. And we're gonna delete all these other lines. And well, as you can see, we deleted yet another power plant in here, another coal power plant. And so we need to make sure that we don't underdo it. So we need to add another wind turbine. And let's see where we can place it. And I think we can do it here. And again, that way we don't go under, right? And we still have some a lot of batteries that are gonna provide electricity, but yeah, we should be fine. We need to add just another one, but that's gonna be, I think, a little bit more difficult. Maybe here. Yeah, this is gonna be great. Let's upgrade this really quick. And yeah, we're fine for now. Again, we have enough capacity for batteries for a little bit, so we shouldn't worry on that. And we are gonna add some commercial, low density commercial, and we're gonna add industrial in here. And we'll take a look to see how it develops. Okay, we'll let that develop. And again, all the demand has been going down just a little bit, so we still need some office demand, we need some industrial, and we need some commercial. I kind of don't want to zone anything in here because I do believe that all of these should be public. If we were in Cities Skylines 1, I would make all of these one big linear park and let that work itself out, but unfortunately not. So let's add a little bit more commercial here. Definitely more industrial. And we need to figure out where to put a little bit more of these offices, and I cannot find a place. What is this? This is a firehouse. You know what? Let's move this out of the way in here. Not out of the way, but in a different place. We'll put it here. And let's, first of all, we're gonna do surfaces, and we're gonna do tile surface number 1. Yeah, number 1. Because we are in a place that's gonna have a lot of green if we leave it like that, and sometimes it doesn't look as nice, right? So let's see, that looks nice. And once these offices start growing, there's not gonna be anything green like this in here. We do need to fix it, right? But that's for another episode. We can even start doing that in these areas too, right? To differentiate what we have here and what we have on the other side. This could kind of meet, but no, that's fine. We still have demand for commercial and industrial. Let's see where else we can put some commercial. I think this, we left it to be commercial. If not, that's what it's gonna be. Right, I think that's gonna work well. And I think we actually need to add some here. And we need to add a little bit more of industrial. That's gonna be the tricky part. We need to figure out where we're gonna expand our industrial areas in here. Right, we're not gonna expand on this way, on this area. But maybe we can expand here. We might be able to do so. Let's just connect this alley here really quick, so we can delete this, and the electricity that this produces can go into the city. So let's add one road here, and I think this will be the last big area that we're gonna be able to zone for industrial. Right, and the demand, I think it's growing. Yeah, it's growing. So we do need to figure out what we're gonna do for that. Since we're emptying this, we can add, let's add just a little square here. I think that should help us. And once we're done with this, we can add another square, and that should be it. I think that should be more than enough for that. And again, we need to figure out where else we are going to expand. Maybe in here. Let's pause this really quick. Let's destroy this, and let's try try to do it again. This time we'll go over, that way things magically get fixed. We'll take off this light. We will rezone all of this, which for some reason was not zoned, and we'll let this run. And that's nice, it's going down. Demand, it's going down. And I'm gonna move this police station here, and I'm gonna move this firehouse also here, because I don't know how we're gonna deal with this exit and entrance into the highway. It's gonna be a little bit tricky with this line, with this train line coming in here, right? I don't know why it was done like this. It really changes how you can do things, right? But I guess one of the extra added challenges to do, and I think that's gonna look great. We still have issues with high rent, but again, we don't have any demand for residential, so at the moment there's nothing we can do. And if you recall, we have, and we'll zone this right now really quick, again making sure that we zone the outsides first. And I mean, just for the sake of it, let's take this away and let's add low rent housing just in here, and we'll add medium density back here again for row housing, right? And we'll see how that goes. And before we do that, let's add just one more little block of commercial, sorry. And that is that. It's kind of crooked, I think. And let's make sure that this goes well. And this is where we will do the avenue. So let's try to start this here, and we'll figure it out later. I am gonna put a roundabout here, right? So that should work. That should work really well. And we'll add, I'm gonna add commercial in the middle, and I'm gonna add, well, let's add this too, and we're gonna add the rest for offices. And let's change this so that we have a little bit of grass and trees, and we'll let that figure itself out. Once again, sometimes I believe, or I think, that we don't do enough with our city, especially in this episode that it's a little bit shorter, but I do believe we accomplished a lot. We were finally able to place our police headquarters here, and I think that looks really, really, really nice. We were able to upgrade from coal into these windmills, which are producing a really good amount of electricity, as you can see here. We don't have any more coal plants, only geothermal as well as wind, which is, it's really, really nice. And we really aren't having that many issues with that. And we were able to add a little bit more of industrial areas in here in order for us to continue to close this landfill, which is being emptied, and so we can do our upgrade to this expressway. And I think that's what we need to do sooner, as soon as this landfill gets emptied, which is, it's gonna take time, right? It's emptying right now, but again, we need for it to wait. And so I do want to thank you for watching and liking this video. Don't forget to leave your comments or suggestions in the box below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, we'll see each other on our next episode. Take care.